Alright, I'm going to ask you a series of questions. Just relax and answer them as simply as you can. It's your birthday. Someone gives you a calfskin wallet.
I wouldn't accept it. Also, I'd report the person who gave it to me to the police.
You've got a little boy. He shows you his butterfly collection, plus the killing jar.
I take him to the doctor.
You're watching television. Suddenly you realize there's a wasp crawling on your arm.
I'd kill it.
You're reading a magazine. You come across a full-page nude photo of a girl.
Is this testing whether I'm a replicant or a lesbian, Mr. Deckard?
Just answer the questions, please. You show it to your husband. He likes it so much he hangs it on your bedroom wall.
I wouldn't let him.
Why not?
I should pay him for it.
Welcome back to our humble San Diego podcast. This is Drop the Mic, and we are your hosts for the time being. First up, we have Chris Pawlak. What's up, man?
A lot, actually, but I appreciate you being accommodating again.
Of course.
Thank you for having me, as always.
Yes, thank you for being so vigilant and coming on, making time for us in your busy schedule. Appreciate it. And then, of course, it's I, Wesley the Swanson, of course. You've now tuned into episode 277, Replicants Retirement Party, where we will be kicking off our first ever Summer of Sci-Fi with a retrospective look back on the original Blade Runner. But first, let's get warmed up, shall we?
Yes.
And now for a special news report. Brought to you by Drop the Mic.
Okay, so of course, pop culture news. Do you have anything that you felt was stood out to you?
For pop culture news, I have 2 deaths to report. Don't know if you covered them. You may have covered one of them. But I want to give a shout out to Julie Cruz, who died a couple weeks ago. Frequent collaborator of David Lynch. She appears in, I think, every iteration of Twin Peaks. Like the OG series, the Fire Walk With Me. She's in the Legacy series that was on a few years ago. She contributed a handful of songs to his work and has like kind of this very ethereal voice. And the instrumental of her song "The World Spins" the instrumental of her song "Falling" is the actual Twin Peaks theme. So I just wanted to shout her out. Check her out. Like I said, "Falling" is notable because that's the instrumental is the Twin Peaks theme. "Mysteries of Love" is a great song, which appears in Blue Velvet. And she sings a song in the 2nd season of Twin Peaks called "The World Spins," which soundtracks a pretty crucial scene that kind of brings closure to the show's central mystery in that episode. So definitely check out those songs and see what you think, and then check out more of her work if you can.
What, if I may ask, what happened?
Cause of death?
Yes.
I think it was complications from lupus, if I'm not mistaken.
Definitely gonna have to go back and check out all that work.
Yeah, check her out. Check out Twin Peaks too. Twin Peaks isn't for everyone, and the second season kind of dies after the 8th episode, after they wrap up like the central mystery, and then gets like bananas in the final 2 episodes of that season. But I'm a big fan overall, and I really like the Return series that was on a few years back. So check it out. Check out her work. And then my the second death that we have to report is Philip Baker Hall, who, great actor, is in, God, I don't know how many movies, a ton of them. And sometimes he was even uncredited in those movies. He just kind of pops up for a scene. But, definitely want to mention his collaborations with Paul Thomas Anderson. You know, we've talked about Magnolia. check out Hard 8. If any of your listeners have not watched Hard 8, check it out. He's like the star of Hard 8, and he's so goddamn good in that movie. That's P.T. Anderson's first film. And obviously Boogie Nights, even though it's his scene in Boogie Nights is really just the one scene, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's correct. It's not really a meaty role at all.
Yeah, it's just the scene where he talks about the coming future of videotape at the New Year's party. He's also got probably the most memorable line in the film during that scene, and that's when he's talking and he says that he likes simple pleasures like butter in his ass and lollipops in his mouth. Which I could have, like, watching it the first couple times, I would swear up and down that was an ad-lib. Because Robert Ridgely, who's in the background of the scene, cracks up the moment that he says that line. And I could swear to you that it was an improv. But I found the original script and I read the script and it's actually in the script. I guess Ridgely just couldn't keep a straight face considering how funny that line. But it's great. He's great in all those P.T. Anderson movies. Like I said, definitely watch Hard 8 if any of your listeners have not seen it. I'm assuming you have.
Yeah, of course.
Also, there's a great Philip Seymour Hoffman cameo in Hard 8. That's hilarious. But also, Baker Hall, he's fucking great in The Insider, which is another movie that I think is a masterpiece that I'm pretty sure we will cover at some point. He's great in Midnight Run, which gets mentioned on this podcast all the fucking time because I love the movie so much. And it seems like a ton of people in that movie are now deceased, unfortunately. I'm sure we'll be bringing it up like when De Niro dies.
Which is never going to happen because he's immortal.
Hopefully. What else? The Rock. He's great in The Rock. The Truman Show, Zodiac. He's got a couple of scenes in 50-50, which I think he's great in, as one of the other cancer patients that's in the chemotherapy with Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
That's right. When he's like, "Bullshit, man, get high with us."
Yeah, him and Matt Frewer.
Yes.
Are the other two older patients with him. And also, I gotta shout it out. I know you're not a fan, but he's got an incredible episode of Seinfeld that he guest stars in, where he plays a library cop. But he's got like this great hard-boiled, like 1940s, very fast dialogue that's almost like a Dragnet.
Oh, okay.
Type dialogue. And he's so funny in it. And when he's delivering one of these crazy rants, you can see Jerry crack up. And apparently every single time they shot that, Jerry could just continue to crack up, so they just left it. And you think he's laughing because it's just so absurd what he's saying, but he's just laughing because he had a funny line and Seinfeld couldn't keep a straight face. Check out that episode if you can. And check out any of the numerous movies that he's in. Great actor. Sadly missed, but he was, like 90 years old?
Yeah, he had definitely a long life. And
that's a good run.
R.I.P.
So that's my pop culture news. I don't know if I want to wade into the real depressing real world news of today.
Oh.
Except to say, you know what? Voting is important. Get out and vote all the fucking time. I wish more people had voted and voted the right way in 2016 because we find ourselves in this position mainly because of that at the moment.
I had a few pieces for you as well, if you want to hear them real quick.
Absolutely, of course.
All right. First up, Brad Pitt opened up in a recent GQ interview saying in so many words that he will likely be retiring from acting soon. Any thoughts on this?
I mean, he's getting up there in age. I mean, he still looks great, but he's pushing 60 right now.
Yeah, it's 58 right now, I believe.
Yeah. I mean, he wants to spend, the last however long he has, hanging with his family and, doing some fun stuff. By all means, he's had a pretty strong run of roles. And I mean, he's got Bullet Train, which is coming out, I think, next month, which looks to be like a hell of a lot of fun. But, I mean, what was the last role that he really had before all this mess? Was it Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Yeah, because that came out in,
That was 2019. That was probably about 6 months or so, 7 months before the pandemic. Just looking at, like, what he's been in the years, a few years prior, man, he's had some solid movies in there.
Which leads me, let's segue a bit. My buddy Ryan, he's saying that Moneyball is a great movie, one of Brad Pitt's best. Would you agree on that? Have you seen it?
I think he's awesome. I think he's awesome in it. I don't particularly care for baseball.
Okay.
But it makes baseball like really fucking compelling. And he's great in it, as is Jonah Hill and Philip Seymour Hoffman. So I would 100% agree with Ryan. I think it is one of his best.
Okay. I'm going to have to check it out.
You never seen it?
No, I've never seen it.
Oh, yeah, watch it, man. It's another one of those movies where if I am looking to put something on in the background while I'm, working in the kitchen or around the house or something, and that movie's on, I'll just leave it on.
Ah, okay. Yeah, when that came out, it just slipped by me. I don't know why I haven't seen it yet, but I think it's streaming right now, so I'll definitely put it on soon.
Yeah, check it out.
All right, moving on. Black Phone with Ethan Hawke is finally out, so go support it in theaters. It currently sits at an 85 on Rotten.
Did you catch it yet?
No, I'm probably going to see it this weekend.
All right, let me know. I wanted to see it, and then I had read a review where I was kind of like, oh, that doesn't sound as good as I hoped.
All right.
But with the way my schedule has been, I haven't been to the movies in probably a month, and it might be a while before I make it again.
Okay.
I did sit in on Top Gun Maverick during Memorial Day weekend, though.
How was that? Thoughts?
I liked it a lot. There's some cheesy fan service shit in, which I hate fan service bullshit, but it works. But especially seeing it in IMAX, like the aerial, the fight scenes are really fucking good.
Man, we talked about it last week, me and James, that everybody is saying that this movie is like the best movie that Tom Cruise has ever done. What do you think about that?
No. No. Is it good? Yeah, it's good. But the best movie he's ever done, maybe Magnolia, maybe Collateral.
Okay.
Born on the 4th of July. Like, if you're looking for, like, serious actor roles, any of those three. And I like his work in Mission Impossible.
Of course, yeah.
All the Mission Impossible flicks, you know how much of a fan I am of those. The best movie he's ever done? Probably not. Watch any of those three. Watch especially the last few Mission Impossible movies. Check those out. Top Gun Maverick is very good, though.
Okay. Moving on to some news I'm sure you're gonna have something to say about, but I guess Joker 2 is said to be a musical with Lady Gaga in talks for the role of Harley Quinn.
Okay. I remember reading that headline and just being like, what? Whatever. I was so fucking just over Joker that by the time I watched it, I was just, there's nothing in it for me to really grab onto. I just don't care. It's bargain basement Scorsese. Joaquin Phoenix is good, as he always is, but I just didn't care. I would rather watch King of Comedy or Taxi Driver, like, for real, instead of watching that. So, okay, it'll come out and it'll make like another $800 million at the box office or some shit, whatever.
I think it's interesting that they're trying to do it as a musical. I feel like they know that